Morning, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Looking outside, there's a little bit of a breeze. The wind turbine is turning gently in a very gentle breeze. It's not really producing any power yet, but it's spinning a little bit. Although the sky is not clear at all, the brightness is quite intense out here. Really intense. I'm pulling in some halfway decent solar power over here. Looking at 300 watts. Now that's really good for winter out here, considering it's overcast, it's really a gray sky, and that's just amplified light off the snow. So 300 watts coming off of 800 watts of solar panels in winter, in an overcast sky, that's nice. That's really good. And it's only 11 o'clock in the morning, so the sun has not cleared the trees. So that's really good solar power output for this period. I can't wait to get my other panels hooked up, but right now what the problem is, everything is snowed in, frozen, and iced in. I need to move the stuff out from in front of the tiny house on wheels, but it's frozen solid to the ground, and that's where I want to put my new solar panels. Well, not new solar panels, but the other solar panels. So I'm trying to work stuff free and chisel things out so I can get them lined up in front of the tiny house, and I'll be able to at least double my solar panel output at certain hours, and even probably more in the late afternoon sun when it's shining directly on the tiny house on wheels. Funny, right after I showed you that, it started snowing and blowing. It's blowing up high and down low, so that wind turbine's definitely either got to go up higher or down lower. But it's getting cold out there. It's really dropping in temperature, and we're supposed to get some really brutal cold temperatures in the next few days here. It means I got to go out and get some more firewood, and I've been burning through the firewood more than I thought I would. I'm still not in an emergency situation because I got that entire barn to burn if I need to. But I prefer to burn the boards for now. Old cured tree wood. Because it's just easier to cut with a chainsaw than it is to deal with nail-filled barnwood. But I'm thinking about getting the truck filled up. I'm going to have to clear a path to the barnwood, fill up the bed of the truck, bring it over and run the generator, start chopping that stuff up on a table saw. Start stockpiling barnwood, because winter is far from over. Looks like it's going to be worse in the next month here than the rest of the winter was. I am not going to show you because it's a chaotic, ugly mess, but I'm working in the kitchen, and I am cleaning out underneath the counter, and I'm going to pull out the forklift, the golf cart batteries, and take them over to the RV and get them out of here so I can start putting stuff away underneath the counter in the tiny house and start pulling more stuff out of the RV and putting it in the tiny house where it belongs. And then I want to get the golf cart batteries hooked up in the RV, get electricity in there again so I have some light, and set up my electronics lab as I had wanted to do out there originally as planned. I've got the two better batteries out of here. They were at 6.24 volts. That would be 12.48 volts, which isn't too bad after sitting for a while. And these are sitting at 6.13, so they haven't dropped a bit. So that's 12.26. They haven't lost any energy at all resting here since I stopped running the Bedini on them. I've disconnected all of the wires. They're all sitting here, and the Bedini motor, and everything is going over to the RV. Right now I'm going to take a break because that's 80 pounds a piece. Lifting up over the slip, taking them in and dropping them in to the RV is a workout. And honestly, all the blood has rushed to my head and I'm a little bit dizzy, so I'm going to rest a little bit here and take a little break. I just noticed that I didn't notice that before, but the connections are really melted. I'm not sure what they did over there, but there's melted spots on these, and the connections are melted. So when they had them over at the test, they were a little bit roughed up. So when I get them in the RV, I'll give them a wash up, wash down, whatever. I'll clean them and check their fluids again, top them all off before I connect them. Then I'm going to take the Harbor Freight solar charge controller and put it in the RV for now with the Harbor Freight solar panels to put a maintainer on the 2 better batteries, and that'll be enough to run the Bedini motor to run on these batteries and just let them run for days and days and days. Now it's going to be cold, granted, it will be cold, but there won't be any real work done with these batteries. These will just be getting restored through the Bedini motor, and the original 2, which I just put in there, they're not hooked up, they're just sitting there, are going to be just running the Bedini. So it's not a big deal. Not much power at all being used out of them. And then I'll straighten up the wires. This here is just a wire dangling from the igniter from the stove that I never used. And I'll straighten up all the wiring down here and purdy it up, fasten things up underneath the countertop, and then I can build shelves in here. And then this corner here, because it leaks down in the wheel well, there's a gap I didn't seal, and it leaks cold air, which is why I have my milk and sour cream and salad dressing down there. Well, what I'm going to do is put a little box there, an insulated box. That'll be my winter cold box. Hey, why not, right? That's because that doesn't actually freeze solid so badly, and outdoors things are freezing solid. So outdoors I have my freezer, indoors I've got my refrigerator. It's perfect. Zero energy refrigerator in the off-grid tiny house. It's perfect. Well, I put on the new tablecloth. I want to say thank you from the prayers for the perfectly fitting tablecloth, by the way. It fits perfect. Very nice, thank you. And that's with 1 leaf extended. If I extended the other leaf, it'll be just right. So thank you very much. Looks good in the tiny house on wheels. Nice and neat. Got a box here, and actually this is my knife from United Cutlery. I would never advise this. This is the one that I brutalized up north of the cabin. At my parents' cabin. It has a survival kit and a handle, and it came with a survival kit, which this is part I'd probably keep. Actually, I'm thinking about making one of these out of leather one day, but the sheath and the accessories, because it had a snake bite kit, were good. I don't know if you guys remember that, but if you ever remember the United Cutlery Bushmaster, do not get it. It's garbage, because there's just a little piece of metal goes up through here, and now it's all wobbly. Well, anyway, so I've got a box. Take my little survival knife. Try to carefully, surgically open the box. So yeah, I wouldn't trust my life on this knife. I wouldn't trust anything with this knife. It's not very good. So what do we have here? I have no idea. Oh, maybe found some stuff. What is right there, hey? What's this? Interesting. Bug's Eye goggles. This says free sample courtesy of Bailey's. What's this? Super Twist Platinum Gator Line. Interesting. I have no idea. Sight shield. That's sort of cool. I'm guessing that's for chainsaw work. The can't fog goggles for chainsaw. Sure is. Yeah, actually, cool. Because I can use that for everything. Wonder how that looks. Yeah, it works. I can use that for my, I just complained the other day that I couldn't see. My goggles were fogged up and I was using my jigsaw or my circular saw. And I couldn't see. Remember that the other day? Not sure who sent this. It says nothing at all on here, but whoever sent it, thank you. That is perfect. Never fog goggles because it's a screen. Well, that's cool. Well, thank you. And they sent a free sample of Gator Line. Curious what Gator Line is, to be honest. That's just some kind of a cordage. Huh. Is that for your weed whacker? Yes, it is. That's for the weed whacker. Cool. Well, thank you, whoever sent it. Give me a message on the bottom if you want to be known. And thank you very much. And baby has a miniature box. Well, it was only a partially sunny day, so I just fired up the DC generator. It's not connected to the batteries yet. I checked the battery level, water level. I don't know if you can see in there. Every 2 days now. With the amount of current that goes into the forklift batteries, I check them every 2 days. Looking good. I don't know if you can see the level. Yeah, you can. So, these caps are awkward for me to get in and out though. See the level? They're a tight fit. They're special fit. You can see the level in there. So, every 2 days, I check them. These batteries I'm really going to take care of and baby them. They're supposed to last many years, and I really hope to do my best at making them last. So once this is warmed up, I still get on a partial choke. Once it's warmed up, I'll connect the jumper cables. Now over here, I took off my Harbor Freight panels. I've got one sitting here yet. It's still producing power. You see the blue light? It's funny. That's the briefcase panel. I still want to do a review on that, but on these cloudier days, winter days, it's really awkward to do a review on a solar panel. So I set these here for now because I have to clear out a spot over there for them. They're going to be facing full, well, they're going to be at the end of the porch facing full south. I'll come out here with a compass and set them up properly. Right now they are hooked up to the old golf cart battery bank. I don't know if there's any light in here, so I did not bring my light with me. No, and I don't have the lights hooked up. You might be able to see though, 12.4 volts. I've got the Harbor Freight charge controller, so I'm out of breath. I've been running. I've done a lot of work today, but just haven't recorded anything. Did some more snow blowing, cleaning out the driveway, hauling water. Went all the way out and got the mail, or checked the mail. There was none, but anyway, I carried 4 batteries over to the RV, hooked up the 2 good batteries. I still got to get 2 over here. I might still do it yet before it's too dark, and pop them in here and get them out. That way I have the kitchen freed up. I clean the RV kitchen, so yeah, I've got the batteries hooked up in the RV. I don't have the power hooked up to the RV itself yet, but I do have the golf cart batteries out here. Back home. They're back home. I hope they like it. I hope they're happy here. So I'm going to put the battery desulfator on these tomorrow, and the Bedini motor on the badly sulfated batteries. So they'll all get taken care of nicely out here now. Well, my kitchen is a kitchen again. It actually got really cold down here. I have to clean it out. My sour cream had frozen solid and burst. Gotta clean it up. Right there is a cold spot in the tiny house on wheels kitchen. That is let me put this on a little bit reduced. There. That is a very cold spot in the tiny house, and that's where I'm keeping my foods. Now I'm going to put a cover over that, like a box of some, probably just a cardboard box, so that my foods will stay up in that corner, stay cold, but yet the rest of the house won't be affected by that gap. Now, for now, I intentionally haven't sealed that gap. Right down between the milk carton and the wall right there, right at the floor, there's a little air gap, and it makes a perfect refrigerator. Plus, it's a fresh air intake for the tiny house on wheels, because I have a wood stove for heat, and that sucks out so much oxygen. So that is important to have a fresh air intake. So that's why I left that open. And again, it makes a perfect fridge for now. So now I've got my under my counter free. Now what you see is just coiled up excess wire from the power inverter. That is a lot of wire, which I will probably be able to shorten a little bit. Eventually I want to take and slide him outside and draw him straight off the forklift batteries. But for now, I have the extra wire just coiled up in here and connecting to the junction inside the tiny house. But again, I will be taking him outside for a better connection. Then I probably won't see the surges anymore in the battery voltage that I'm seeing on the solar charge controller. That's probably what I'm seeing, is the surge in the wire inside the tiny house. Now, it has been mentioned to me that I should use a super cap in the house to smooth out any surges, and I think that is a very good idea, because the batteries are outside but the wires are inside, and all the wire connections are inside, and so I see occasional surges. So let's take you out to the RV and I'll show you what I've done out there now so far. By the way, had my newly repaired Toro snowblower. This is my little 2-cycle snowblower I just fixed the other day, and I was widening the path of the driveway. I did a couple cycles until it ran out of gas, and I've got a little bit left to do, and then I'll have my driveway cleared out all the way out. The car is way up there, and I've got to clear up to where the car is parked. I'll finish that tomorrow, but I've really been running around today without the camera. I definitely got to get the IP cameras up, but to do that I need more solar, and for that I've got to get all this snow cleared out so I can put up my solar panels. Up by the tiny house, everything's frozen solid, and I've got to clear that out so I can put my solar panels up there. Alright, so let's go inside the RV. The RV is still shoe-free zone. It's carpeted, and I take off my shoes when I enter. And I've got my 2 better golf cart batteries here. Let me put this on dimmer. Whoa. Alright, there we go. I've got my golf cart batteries. These are the 2 newer ones. Hooked up to the Harbor Freight charge controller, solar charge controller. I've got the solar panels, the wires from the solar panels running out to the solar panels outside, the Harbor Freight solar panels. And then I've got the other badly sulfated golf cart batteries. These are the Advanced Auto golf cart batteries that were badly sulfated and were not working for me anymore. Inside here, I still have to wire them up, and then I'll bring out the Bedini motor and start. I'm going to wait for tomorrow and get some sun on these, get some solar charge in these. I'll have a total of 45 and 15. I'll have a total of 60 watts coming into here, so it's not much, but the Bedini motor doesn't use all that much. So I'll have the Bedini running on these, and the battery desulfator on these, the little desulfator, permanently, because these certainly do need it. They were in reduced power when I got them out of the store, if you remember. So I'll take care of these batteries, and hopefully by summer they'll all be ready to roll and be put into use here in the off-grid solar-powered RV. And it'll have light in the RV, and sorry, I'm not looking where my camera is. Well, anyway, then I'll have light in the RV and power for doing my electronics projects out here. So then my house can stay clean and neat, and the RV will have the electronics projects. So it'll be nice. When you have a tiny house, somebody, I don't remember if it was on the forum or in the comments, so forgive me, but if you're watching this video, I hope you will see and hear my response to you. Somebody was talking about how if you have a tiny house, you don't have as much space for food storage, especially for a prepper. Well, I would advise not having food storage in your house anyway, for long-term foods and for preparedness. I would, if you have skirting under the house and you can keep it from freezing down there, deep freezing, keep it underneath or in a outdoor food cellar. That would be the very best. And if you're renting land and you just have your house, then you don't have a lot of options. That is a problem. And I lived in apartments for years and just used the closet space under my hanging shirts and filled it up tight. That's all I could do.